So then, yeah, so he comes back in and he's finally just going to confront her and say, I don't love you and I'm leaving. Which, him having this fixation on Glinda really does not make any sense to me. No, I don't want to say it doesn't make any sense to me, but it's hard to believe because in the first movie, she doesn't even give him the time of day. She politely directs him into another way when he tries to kind of hit on her a little bit. That's really all we ever see. That's the only time we ever see them actually interact. There's this one scene where he physically is introducing himself and then gets turned down. Now, in this movie, we do see flashbacks from time to time of the core kind of group all hanging out. So, and we do know that Wicked for Good, there is time that has passed. So, you could say within that time and the times that they were friends and stuff, that maybe they did get to know each other a little bit. But you also, like, you can't because it's like, if you do it that way, he really set himself up for failure if they became friends, but he was still continuously falling in love with her while she was with Fiyero. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? So it is kind of far fetched a little bit, but
Bach to me is more than anything in terms of like his relationship with Glinda is just like an obsessive fan. That's kind of how
right,
I've always just kind of viewed Bach.
right. Sadly,
Because he's usually just like whenever he's like outside of like their one interaction, whenever he's like watching Glinda, he's usually watching it with a group of people who are also watching Glinda at the same time, fanboying or fangirling over her at the same time. So that's really just what Bach is to me in that sense.
right. So yeah, he's gonna profess his love and go find Glinda, and he da 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 da. He realizes Elphaba's there and is like, standoffish or whatever, and he tells her. Nesrose says, "Nope, you're gonna lose your heart to me," and she goes to the Grimmery and starts casting a spell that she knows nothing about. Elphaba yells out, "You're saying the words all wrong. Stop!" And then Bach, in what was a really kind of not badass moment character wise, but from a film perspective, was such a cool moment to see him go, "I'm leaving," and then like almost like the force kicked in. He was like, and like stopped, and you hear like a thud, and he steps back and grabs his chest, and my mom goes, "He's having a heart attack." Meanwhile, he's going, "It feels something like heart is shrinking." So I'm like, "Well, no, I mean that's technically not a heart attack." Um, uh, so yeah, basically,
I cast cardiac arrest.
yeah. I transform your heart into not working state. That's what the Grimmery is saying. Um, yeah. So then, now the worst part about Nessa Rose too is that she does this shit where she'll do something and go ahead.
I'm just like the Grimmery. It like flips through the pages and it stops on two pages, and there's just two pictures of a heart and a stop sign.
Yeah, yeah. Nessa Rose does this a few times where she fucks up and then just immediately blames Elphaba and yells at her to stop it, and Elphaba's like, you can't stop a spell from the Grimmery once it's cast. So Elphaba has to figure out another spell to kind of stop it, and kind of kicks Nessa Rose out of the room, which was cool because so in the theater, you like see the transformation, but you don't in a way, but like it's kind
It's
of
like little
it
quick shots of like
right.
metal kind of like attaching to him nearby.
Well, yeah, in the movie, yeah, in the like production, the stage production, he kind of like sits in a chair, um, and like he grabs his chest and like falls back in this chair, and he kind of like blacks out, like it kind of blacks away from him, while they're like arguing and stuff like that. Uh, and then obviously while they're arguing is when like they're starting to put the Tin Man, like the crew is putting the Tin Man stuff on him, and then he pops out of the chair and he's like the Tin Man or whatever. Um, so I thought they did it. I thought they did it very well with the, because it's hard to like fully show somebody
Right,
transforming because
exactly.
they
Yeah.
do the same thing with Fiero. I thought it was really good, especially the shot of like his hand and you see the metal like wrapping around his like hand and stuff like that was really good. So I really enjoyed it. I thought they did a great job with that. And then I thought it was hilarious when it's all done and Alpha comes out of the room and she just goes, "He's sleeping now." I thought that was great. I'm like,
Yeah, that's a
sure,
wild thing to say. That's a wild thing
right,
to say. That sounds like that sounds like what you would say when your like pet dies and then your parents have to come out. He's like, "Oh yeah, he's sleeping right now.
right,
He'll be fine."
right,
But
right.